Hey, welcome. So I have put together a little travel trivia challenge for you. There are 20 questions covering some of the world's most amazing places, cultures, and landmarks. Do you think you know your stuff? Let's find out. Today's travel quiz will be about the Shirakawa Village in Japan. What is the name of the traditional architectural style of the houses in Shirakawa-go? Is it number 1, Gassho-zukuri, number 2, Mustya, number 3, Minka, or number 4, Sukiya-zukuri? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Tucked away in the mountains of Gifu Prefecture, Shirakawa-go is one of those places that makes you stop and stare. The village is best known for its old Gassho-zukuri farmhouses, buildings with dramatically steep thatched roofs built that way for good reason. The winters here are brutal, and the snow doesn't mess around. The shape of the famous steep thatched roofs is designed to resemble what? Was it number 1, a bird's wings? Number 2, hands pressed together in prayer? Number 3, a mountain peak? Or number 4, a samurai helmet? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number 2, hands pressed together in prayer. The steep roofs you see throughout Shirakawa-go have a name, Gassho-zukuri, which roughly translates to hands in prayer. Once you hear that, you can't unsee it. The sharp angle really does look like 2 hands pressed together, the way you might see in a Buddhist temple. Why are the thatched roofs built at such a steep angle? Was it number 1, to ward off evil spirits? Number 2, to catch rainwater? Number 3, to prevent heavy snow from collapsing the house? 4, to let smoke escape from the kitchen? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number 3, to prevent heavy snow from collapsing the house. Shirakawa-go's traditional farmhouses have steeply pitched thatched roofs, and there's a good reason for that. The region gets hit with heavy snowfall every winter, so the sharp angle lets snow slide right off, rather than piling up and putting dangerous weight on the structure. It's a practical design that's kept these homes standing through centuries of brutal mountain winters. The style even has a name, Gassho-zukuri, and it's hard to argue with something that's worked that well for that long. Which UNESCO World Heritage Site is Shirakawa-go paired with? Was it number 1, Kyoto? Number 2, Gokayama? Number 3, Nara? Number 4, Itsukushima? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number 2, Gokayama. In 1995, Shirakawa-go was awarded UNESCO World Heritage status along with the nearby village of Gokayama. The two mountain communities were recognised together, and it's easy to see why they caught UNESCO's attention. Between their iconic Gassho-zukuri farmhouses and the way they've managed to hold on to a way of life that's largely disappeared elsewhere in Japan, they represent something genuinely rare. In which Japanese prefecture is Shirakawa Village located? Was it number 1, Kyoto Prefecture? Number 2, Nagano Prefecture? Number 3, Gifu Prefecture? Or number 4, Hokkaido Prefecture? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number 3, Gifu Prefecture. The Shirakawa village sits in Gifu Prefecture, tucked into the mountains of Japan's Chubu region. It's the kind of place that feels genuinely remote, dense forests, alpine scenery, and a landscape that seems largely untouched. Most people know it for its Gassho-zukuri farmhouses and its UNESCO World Heritage status, and honestly, one look at the place makes it pretty clear how it earned both. What material is traditionally used to build the roofs of these houses? Was it number 1, bamboo stalks? Number 2, cedarwood planks? 3, kaya, pampas grass? or number 4, clay tiles? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number 3, kaya, pampas grass. The roofs on Shirakawa-go's Gassho-zukuri farmhouses are thick with layers of thatch, traditionally made from natural grasses like Japanese pampas grass. It's a surprisingly practical material. It keeps the cold out remarkably well, which matters a lot in a region with winters as harsh as this one. And beyond the practicality, there's something about the natural texture and colour of the thatch that makes these buildings feel like they genuinely belong in the landscape rather than just sitting in it. What historic industry took place in the large attics of these houses? Was it number 1, sake brewing, number 2, silk farming, sericulture, number 3, rice drying, or number 4, pottery making? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number 2, silk farming, sericulture. Those steep roofs weren't just about keeping the snow off. They created surprisingly large attic spaces inside, and for generations the villagers put them to good use. Silkworm cultivation was a mainstay of the local economy, and the attics turned out to be well suited for it, offering the kind of space and ventilation that silkworms need. It's one of those details that makes you appreciate how thoughtfully these buildings were designed. Practical on the outside, equally practical within. What structural element is completely omitted when building a traditional Shirakawa house? Was it number 1, windows, number 2, wooden beams, number 3, metal nails, or number 4, doors? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number 3, metal nails. One of the most striking things about these farmhouses is that there isn't a single nail in them. The whole structure is held together through careful wooden joinery and rope bindings techniques that craftsmen have been refining for centuries. What's impressive is that this isn't just tradition for tradition's sake. The resulting buildings have a kind of flexibility to them that makes them remarkably resilient, able to shift and settle under heavy snow loads without giving way. It's the sort of construction that modern materials often struggle to match. How often do the villagers typically need to rethatch a single roof? Was it number 1, every 5 years, number 2, every 15 to 20 years, number 3, every 30 to 40 years, or number 4, every 100 years? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number 3, every 30 to 40 years. Every 30 to 40 years, the thatched roofs need to be completely replaced, and it's not a small job. The scale of the work means it can't really be done alone, so the whole village pitches in. This tradition of communal effort, neighbours helping neighbours get the work done, has been going on for generations, and in many ways it's just as much a part of what makes Shirakawa-go special as the buildings themselves. Without it, maintaining these homes over the centuries simply wouldn't have been possible. What is the name of the local cooperative system where the whole community helps rethatch a roof? Was it number 1, Bushido, number 2, Kaiser, number 3, Yui, or number 4, Omotenashi? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number 3, Yui. This tradition of communal effort even has a name, Yui. It's a centuries-old custom built on a simple idea. When a job is too big for one household to manage alone, the community comes together to get it done, sharing the labour and the skills with no money changing hands. Rethatching a roof is exactly the kind of task Yue was made for, but beyond the practical value, there's something about the spirit of it, neighbours showing up for each other in the same way their grandparents did, that feels central to what Shirakawa-go actually is. Preserving the buildings matters, but so does preserving that. Why face all the houses in the exact same north-south direction? Was it number 1 to align with feng shui principles? Number 2 to face the local temple? 3 to block the winter wind and use the sun to dry the roofs? Or number 4 to align with the Shinkansen train tracks? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number 3 to block the winter wind and use the sun to dry the roofs. Even the direction these houses face wasn't left to chance. Built on a north-south axis, the orientation was chosen to work with the local conditions rather than against them. It helps the buildings stand up to strong winds, encourages snow to shed evenly from both sides of the roof, and makes the most of whatever sunlight is available through the long winter months. It's the kind of detail that's easy to overlook, but it speaks to how deeply understood this environment became over centuries of actually living in it. Very little about these houses is accidental. What popular winter event draws thousands of tourists to see the village lit up at night? Was it number 1, the Fire Festival? Number 2, the Winter Light Up? 3, the Snow Sculpting Contest? Or number 4, the Cherry Blossom Illumination? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number 2, the Winter Light Up. In January and February, Shirakawa-go becomes something else entirely. On selected evenings through winter, the village is lit up after dark and with snow already covering the rooftops and the ground. The effect is quietly extraordinary. The warm glow against all that white, the dark tree line beyond, the distinctive silhouettes of the Gassho-zukuri roofs, it's the kind of scene that stops people in their tracks. It's become one of the most photographed winter events in Japan, and it's not hard to see why. Some places just look like they were made for a moment like that. What hidden danger caused the village to install water cannons disguised as tiny wooden huts? Was it number 1, flash floods? Number 2, high winds, 3, massive fires? Or number 4, volcanic ash? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number 3, massive fires. For all their resilience against snow and wind, these farmhouses have one serious vulnerability: fire. Thick thatch and dry timber, buildings sitting close together, it's not hard to see how quickly a blaze could take hold and spread. Protecting the village was essential, but so was protecting how it looked. The solution was quietly ingenious: water cannons capable of drenching the surrounding area within seconds, hidden inside small structures designed to look like traditional wooden huts. Walk past them and you'd never guess what they were. What ingredient used for gunpowder was historically produced under the floorboards of these houses? Was it number 1, sulfur? Number 2, potassium nitrate? And paku? 3, charcoal? Or number 4, phosphorus? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number 2, potassium nitrate. And paku. Not everything about Shirakawa-go's past was as peaceful as it looks today. For a period in Japanese history, the village was quietly involved in the production of saltpeter, one of the key ingredients in gunpowder. The process happened beneath the floorboards of the farmhouses, where the warmth and organic material created conditions that suited the chemistry involved. It was a discreet operation tucked out of sight, and it played a meaningful role in the village economy at the time. And it's a surprisingly edgy footnote for a place that now feels so serene. What is the name of the main largest village area that tourists visit in Shirakawa-go? Was it number 1, Ogimachi? Number 2, Takayama? Number 3, Kanazawa? Or number 4, Shirakawa-cho? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number 1, Ogimachi. The part of Shirakawa-go that most visitors come to see is the Ogamachi district, and it's easy to understand why. This is where the greatest concentration of Gassho-zukuri farmhouses is found, clustered together against a backdrop of mountains in a way that feels almost too picturesque to be real. Some of the historic homes have been opened up as museums, others house local shops, and a few still function as working residences, which gives the place a lived-in quality that sets it apart from somewhere that's been purely preserved for tourists. It's the undisputed heart of the World Heritage Village, and it earns that status. What natural feature surrounds the village, isolating it for centuries? Was it number one, a vast desert, number two, a deep ocean bay, number three, rugged high mountains, or number four, a massive swamp? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number three, rugged high mountains. The mountains that surround Shirakawa-go are part of what makes it what it is. For centuries, they kept the village cut off from the outside world, not entirely, but enough. That isolation, which must have made life genuinely hard at times, turns out to be the reason so much here has survived. The architecture, the traditions, the rhythms of rural life, they were never really forced to change because the outside world had limited reach. What you're seeing when you visit isn't a reconstruction or a carefully curated imitation. It's simply what happens when a community is left largely undisturbed to do things the way they've always been done. What unique seasonal agricultural product is Shirakawa-go famous for producing? Was it number one, a high altitude green tea? Number two, Doboroku, unfiltered sake? Number three, white strawberries? Or number four, purple sweet potatoes? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number two, Doboroku. Shirakawa-go has its own sake, and it's not quite like anything you'd find elsewhere. Doboroku is unfiltered, cloudy, and made the old way locally grown rice, pure mountain water, and a process that hasn't changed much in centuries. The result is something rougher and richer than conventional sake, with a character that feels entirely in keeping with the place that produces it. Every year the village marks it with the Doboroku Festival, which feels less like a tourist event and more like a community genuinely celebrating something it's proud of. In a village where so much has been carefully handed down through the generations, it's fitting that the local drink has been too. What local animal or legendary creature is celebrated in an annual festival held at the village shrine? Was it number one, the Japanese sero, goat antelope, number two, the snow monkey, number three, the Doboroku dragon, or number four, the mountain bear? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number three, the Doboroku dragon. At the heart of the Doboroku festival is a figure that speaks to something older than the celebration itself, the Doboroku dragon. The festival takes place at Shirakawa Hachiman Shrine, and the dragon is woven through the local tradition in a way that connects protection, prosperity, and the village's beloved unfiltered sake into a single story. It's the kind of mythology that grows naturally in an isolated mountain community over many generations, where the things that matter most, the harvest, the drink, the safety of the village, eventually find their way into legend. The ceremonies and performances that mark the festival each year are a way of keeping that story alive, and the village takes it seriously. Which river flows directly alongside the historic village of Shirakawa-go? Was it number one, Shogawa River, number two, Kamo River, number three, Sumidya River, or number four, Shinano River? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number one, the Shogawa River. The Shogawa River runs alongside Shirakawa-go, winding through the mountain landscape in the unhurried way that rivers in places like this tend to. For the communities that settled here, it was never just scenery. It was water, a means of transport, and the source of the fertile land that made farming possible in an otherwise demanding environment. Today, it still frames the village beautifully. Its clear water catching the light against a backdrop of mountains and traditional farmhouses. It's one of those natural features that shaped a place long before anyone thought to appreciate it aesthetically, and somehow manages to be both at once. To cross into the main historic village from the parking lot, what must visitors walk over? Was it number 1, a wooden ferry boat? Number 2, a long concrete pedestrian suspension bridge? Number 3, a stepping stone pathway? Or number 4, an underwater glass tunnel? You now have 10 seconds to choose. Congratulations if you said number 2, a long concrete pedestrian suspension bridge. For most visitors, the journey into Shirakawa-go begins with a walk across the Dai Bridge. It's a pedestrian suspension bridge that spans the Shogawa River, and crossing it feels like a natural threshold the moment the village properly comes into view. From the bridge, you get the mountains, the river below, and the distinctive roof lines of the Gassho-zukuri farmhouses in the middle distance, all at once. By the time you reach the other side, you already have a sense that what you're walking into is something worth the journey. Congratulations if you got 20 out of 20. If you enjoyed the quiz, please give it a like and also click follow. I will be posting more travel quizzes very soon.